Hi everyone, my name is Yukari and I will be making daily process videos for the month of July as I sketch in my Hobonichi Techo for World Watercolor Month. So let's get started. All right, it's day 8 of World Watercolor Month and today's prompt is wing. And I suppose I could have drawn a bird, but it's really not my favorite subject, and I'm really not very good at sketching birds. So I went with angel wings, a plant called caladium, I believe. And so, yeah, let's get started. Here are my supplies for today. I'm using a number 8 Princeton and number 2 Princeton. And I'm using 2 of Daniel Smith's PrimaTek line of paints. The first one is rhodonite. It's a pinkish reddish color. And the second is jadeite, which I've used before. It's a cooler blue. And my ultramarine blue that I am going to mix for shadows and such. As usual, I'm going to start by sketching the plant. These are big leaves that are heart-shaped, and they kind of resemble, I guess, angel wings, and that's why they're called angel wings, I suppose. So I drew my first one in a heart shape, and then I wanted to try drawing a leaf with a little bit of a turn. So here's me trying that out, and I'm going to be erasing all the extraneous lines here. And the third leaf is a little more open. And so, yeah, that's going to be my pencil sketch. And these plants, the angel wings, have really dark green around and then pink in the middle. And so I'm going to start out using the rhodonite, excuse me, and painting the veins lightly first. And I'm going to diffuse that color with a little bit of lighter color paint, and I will go over the veining again a little later on. So I've added a lot of water and a little bit of pigment to my brush. This is my number 2, and kind of spreading it out and trying to avoid hard edges there. And here is my jadeite, and I did mix on this one a little bit of sap green. And you know, I didn't let this completely dry, the rhodonite, because I wanted to mix a little bit. And I'm going to try to avoid, once again, these hard edges here by moving the pink into the green area. And that's what I'm doing here, is just kind of flicking that paint along. And just adding a little more darker jadeite for a little bit of contrast. And now I am going over the vein with a darker mix of rhodonite and a little bit of cadmium red. And now I'm removing some of the green paint, because if you've ever seen angel wing, the plant, actually, there are some white, light green areas. And so I just try to remove some of the paint there. And for the second leaf, I start with the overturned part. And underneath it, it's going to be slightly pink. And so I added the rhodonite, and then notice immediately that it mixes with green. And I'm totally fine with that, just because it's fairly muted underneath. And so I add the rhodonite, the pinky part, to the middle. And we'll be adding a little more pink to it so that that pink and green sort of mesh. And then I am going to be adding a little more pink to underneath. And so you can see the underside of that plant. And then the third leaf is just exactly the same. I'm going to start with a light veining. And on this one, I decided to use straight jadeite for the outside of that leaf. And so you're going to see a slightly different green than I did in the other one. So it's a cooler green. And I'm not usually a big fan of cool green, but I do like this. And depending on how much pigment you pick up, it can almost look black, this jadeite. It's really a beautiful color. All right, so in places where the leaves are turning, I darken the green a little bit. And the veining here, and some blending of the green and the pink. And so the basic part of the painting is done. I'm going to be adding some little details, the stem, the potted, the pot on the bottom, and then I'm going to be adding a little more shadow to it in the leaves itself. All right, so here is my completed journaling page. And I like the way it turned out, except, I don't know, a couple of my leaves looked pretty flat. And so I wanted to add a little more shadowing to it. And I don't know if it helped or not. So you can be the judge. Anyway, thank you for watching. And here's the little more worked version of, and so maybe a little more shadowing over here and here just to show the leaf sort of turning a little bit. But anyway, so thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.